Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. Today is the last day to file the next round of spot Ethereum ETFs with the SEC. This is something that needs to be done by regulators before spot Ether ETFs can be released. The Oklahoma could come as early as this week or as late as next week. Bitcoin is now worth $56,000 and its all-time low was $53,000, still balancing on this point of no return. Bitcoin has already lost more than 25% of its value since its all-time high. We've gone back through this circle the farthest. Are we done? Or do we crash even more? How much will the price of Bitcoin go down? I really want to know what you think. Leave an opinion below and also on the Roundtable app. This is a way to interact with us and other people without using bots. Here is a link to the Roundtable app, and I talked about this in this video from the other day. Bitcoin is in a rough spot right now. You can see that this was help for a long time. Now it's time to refuse. We almost took it back as support. But now it looks like fight. We need to see how this turns out. Still, this is a sign of weakness. Which brings up the question, is this a weakness to use or one to avoid? Expert on charts Carter Worth says what he thinks. It's interesting what he comes to the end. Weakness to use to your benefit or avoid. That's what it comes down to. Either that or that. Let's work it out together. This goes back to 2015, when Bitcoin was worth $200. Let's start by making notes on it. Chart, second chart, you can make out the lines very well. A rising triangle is what you could call that. You may call it anything you like. We did try to break out of the third chart though, and failed. Now the question is whether we'll just drift back to the rising line, which is fine and normal, or is something worse going on? Let us look at the short-term charts to see what's going on. That's all from the last 2 years. Let us do the same thing. Let's make notes on it and add some lines. The lines there are mathematically parallel, and we've moved from the upper band of this well-defined channel to the lower band. From there, we've gone from 18,000 to almost 70. So I think you should buy this dip. It's important to remember that there have been 620% sell-offs since January 2023. It's 27%. It seems more likely that it's weakness to use than weakness to avoid. And the market is changing right now. Now, let's talk about some of the day's most important news stories. A lot is going on. First, the German government sells 17,000 Bitcoin worth 950 million euros. This is the biggest sale of Bitcoin in a single day. I have a hard time picturing, say, investing in cryptocurrency as the kind of long-term stable investment you would suggest to widows and kids as a way to keep their money safe for the next 10 years. I have a hard time believing this because the value of such a cryptocurrency is very low, if not zero. A lot of Bitcoin is leaving Germany today because of the government. It used to hold almost 40,000 Bitcoin, but now it only holds 23,000 Bitcoin. For now, that means that this urge to sell is over. How did they get this German Bitcoin to begin with? That's what I need to know. Taking it from drug sellers and talking about pressure to sell in general. This chart really caught my eye. This is on the realized price and profit loss margin for chain traders. Traders in Bitcoin would only have lost money by selling, and their margins are now minus 17%, the lowest they've been since November 2022, right after the FTX crash. What does this mean? This price, this area, this zone, this is the buy or hold zone. We haven't been in this low of a profit loss zone since the very bottom of the last week market. That means the bottom is in. Take a look at this chart, which shows the circulating stock of all stablecoins in ERC20. What does this tell us? It looks like cash is coming back into the crypto market. Look at this. It's likely that the bottom is in if this trend keeps going for a few more weeks and more stablecoins are made. We'll be keeping a close eye on this chart and all the other altcoin charts every day. If you want to learn how to make money in crypto, make sure you subscribe to get daily videos that teach you everything you need to know. We tell you things that most outlets don't. We show you things that most stations don't show you. Bitcoin workers are showing signs that they are giving up. This kind of thing usually happens when the market is low. We're excited about this. Since the halves, we've been waiting for small-time miners to give up, and now they have. After every Bitcoin halving cycle, this is always the local bottom, and it has been. Besides that, we have a lot of different buyers this time. One company, the Japanese MicroStrategy Metaplanet Japanese public company, buys more Bitcoin worth 400 million yen. What do you think about this? Is the bottom in? Let me know in the video's comments. And if you want to interact with us and other people without using bots, download the Roundtable app. We'll talk about it in this thread, which is linked below. Let's talk about Ethereum. The start dates for these spot Ethereum ETFs are between days and weeks away. VanAct just finished their S1 filings after the SEC asked for more opinions. More and more filings like this are coming in for the spot Ethereum ETF. In this video, Bitwise's CIO Matt Hogan talks about what you can expect when these spot Ethereum ETFs go live soon. Where are we now? You sent in an update which changed S1 last week. I think that more changed S1s are due today. For what amount of money did you need to change this? When do you think it will be approved? Yeah, I can't talk about a particular filing, but I think that if you look at the whole thing, the changes that are being made are pretty minor, which means that we're getting close. We should at least be getting close. I believe the experts are saying that it will happen sometime in the next 2 weeks. And I believe that there will be a big need for these ETFs when they do come out. So not having to make many changes is a good sign. This is a good sign. They're not crazy. They're not scared about the job you're looking for. Nothing is certain and things could change. But yes, the changes we've seen so far in all the files are pretty small. A bigger question is how these spot Ethereum ETFs will connect to the spot Bitcoin ETFs that have been so popular. I love how you described it. I'm really starting to like these Ethereum ETFs. I believe that most people do not understand. Really cool things about Bitcoin ETFs are 2 things. 1, just the amount of money you said came in, which was more than $15 billion. That's the most ever for the start of a new ETF. The second part, though, is the constancy. $24 million came in last week. In June, we had $600 million. Even though Bitcoin's price goes up and down, we had $2.4 billion in Q2. It's a good sign that people keep buying these ETFs. How about Ether? What can we look forward to with a spot Ether start year? What would be a win? So would you say it was a win if we had 25% or 50% of the Bitcoin flows? What do we know about whether this will work or not? 25% seems like a good amount to me. In that range, if you look at the market caps of Bitcoin and Ethereum, you'll find yourself. At Bitwise, we think that $15 billion could flow through in the first 18 months. If that happens, these would be the second most successful ETF launches ever. I believe it might be fun now. It will start in the summer. That's not a busy time for crypto. It's a slow time for ETFs. If things do slow down, though, I think long-term demand will pick up again near the end of the year. Also, guys, just a quick note, use the code altcoin every day to get 10% off tickets to the Bitcoin meeting in Nashville at the end of the month. To all of you guys, ticket prices are going up in 4 days. Yeah, I said it. This year, there are a lot of great guests, including me. We should be able to hang out. Use the code altcoin every day to get 10% off tickets. Ticket prices are about to go up. Don't wait too long to do this. Let's end with Ethereum. I'm optimistic. BlackRock thinks prices will go up. Look at this. BlackRock's Buildle fund keeps getting bigger. To join the fund, you need at least $5 million, and it now has almost $500 million in assets, all of which are on Ethereum lines. Guys, the price action in Ethereum looks good.